Good morning, everybody. This is Caleb with Stain and Seal Experts. I am joining you on Saturday morning because just felt like that's what I wanted to do today. Thought it'd be a good time to catch up with all of you guys out there who haven't got to talk too much lately. So we're live this morning on Facebook, 3 or 4 different places on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. So I'm going to hang out and wait for a few people to join in. I'm seeing a couple of people coming in. If you don't mind, say good morning, say where you're from, and we'll get the show on the road. But I want everybody to stick around to the end here because I got some hats over my shoulder here I want to give away. I'm going to give those away at the end of the show, and then got a big announcement at the end. So good morning. This show today, we're talking about what's going on in the world, in the stain business. Anyways, so you're going to notice the show cover is the Sahara Desert with a bunch of guys climbing up on a sand dune, and it says June heat wave. So I figured that kind of probably touches a soft spot for everybody listening because everybody's been dealing with this weather this morning. So we got some people joining in, so let's get started. So heat wave, July weather, man. This June weather's crazy. It has been super hot here, and that's what we're going to talk about. Talk a little bit about that and see maybe we can pass out some tips and tricks to see who does what, and maybe we can learn something from one another that we can use to help us be more efficient or maybe stay safer in this weather. Please share and rate this show. So it is free to do that. You can rate this show 5 stars if you're listening on a podcast platform. You can give it a thumbs up or a like, and please share it. That's how we're going to grow this thing. That's something you can do in just a second, and it's free. So I would ask you to please rate the show and share it out there. So for those that don't know me, my name's Caleb Roth. My wife, Ashley, and I own Stain and Seal Experts. We're a service-based service company here in Middle Tennessee. We stain fences and decks and been doing it for a little over 10 years. Used to be in the fence business before that. So my background is in the fence business. And we also own a little stain manufacturing company over my shoulder here called Expert Stain and Seal. Expert Professional Wood Care. Expert Stain and Seal is one of the products. And we just make really good stains and sealers and wood cleaning chemicals for people like you who are listening, somebody who needs a no BS product that gets the job done. So I want to give you a quick word from our sponsors, and which I just did, Stain and Seal Experts and Expert Stain and Seal, and then invite you to join our Facebook group. So if somebody wants to drop it in the comments, a link to that, but you can search Staining University in Facebook, and it'll give you a great group. And there's a little over 5,000 staining contractors in that group. And so if you're thinking about the stain business, or you've been in it for 20 years and maybe you got a sticky spot or something you just don't, you need some help on, group's a great resource for that. Some of you guys may have heard that we're going to Kemah, Texas. So just outside of Houston, on the southeast side of Houston, there's a little town called Kemah, and we're doing a training next week on Thursday, June 23rd. We're going to be down there, right close to the bay down there, I think, and we're going to stain a real fence. So we've got a real fence that we're going to do, treated pine privacy fence. On one side, it connects to a brick house. On the other side, it connects to a metal building. Just in front of it, there's a concrete driveway, and I think there's another metal building, like a big warehouse, commercial building with maybe within 10 feet of the fence. So what that means is we're going to do real training on a real job site. That's probably a little more prep work than what you would see on your average job site. So I think it'd be a good thing. So you guys want to come down. Marco Ramoa is he's putting this event on. He runs Washmart. So Bam Bam's coming. For those of you that want to know, he's always voted best instructor. So that's Michael Taylor here in our office. He's going to come with me. Zach from Texas, Zach Smith, he's on our team as well. And we're all going to meet down there at Houston and get this thing done and teach some guys how to stain. We're going to clean some wood fences too. But I think the big takeaway will be doing an actual real stain job and letting you get the hang of what it's like to do one on a real job site. So later on, I'm going to be taking some questions. So The cool thing about what we do here on this show is when we do questions, we can post them up and then other listeners can answer. So I don't have all the answers, but some folks do. So we'll just say good morning to everybody. So Jeremy from Fence to Fence down in Dallas, good morning from Texas. Hope you're doing well, Jeremy. Hope you're staying cool. If you are on Facebook, notice we cannot see what your name is because of Facebook privacy settings. It says Facebook user. So whoever is at Lake of the Ozarks, good morning to you. And please say where you're from if you don't mind. We got another Facebook user says, what's up? Truth Seeker down in Lewisburg, Tennessee. Good morning, sir. And somebody's on a plane leaving Seattle right now. Very cool. Don't know who that could be. And then there's Bam Bam himself, Michael Taylor, Stain and Seal Expert, Staining University. Yep. Appreciate that link drop. So good morning. It's Dan from the Fence Industry Podcast. Those that don't know, there's a staining business podcast, which is the Stain and Seal Experts podcast that you're listening to. There's also the Fence Industry Podcast Dan Wheeler puts on. Great podcast, great stuff. So I recommend that you check that one out and share it too. One more person here from Old Hickory. Who's in Old Hickory? That's right close to where I'm from. So who is it that's in Old Hickory? Good morning. So this week, man, it was 155 degrees. There's Sean King on airplanes. 155 degrees in Nashville. And you're going to notice the work orders that I have yet to do, the P&Ls on, are blue. That means we washed all week. We didn't do a lot of staining. I know it was really good weather, and I wanted to stain, but it's too hot. So we did that. Thank you very much. Coffee delivered. I've got a special custom Stain Man coffee cup that Kenny Dugan vandalized. So anyways, but yeah, it was so hot this week. We did a lot of cleaning jobs, and I think that was good for the guys. You know, it's really hot. Our guys don't start as early as some of you guys did. I know some of you guys will start at 5, 6 in the morning and quit about 1. Our guys are working they're welcome to start earlier, but they're working right now currently from about 7 a.m. to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So wash jobs were very well. That was a good thing. I'll look on the calendar, see what we got going next week. Mandy in our office does the calendar. She does all the service stuff. So I know she tries to be sympathetic of the weather. Looks like next week we got lots of stain jobs. I'm seeing brown on the calendar, which is the color we use to signify stain jobs. So cool. We got lots of stain coming up, and that's what we're going to do next week. But looks like there's more weather coming in, man. Looks like we got more heat coming. So there's Sean King on the airplane, Noah Curtis, and he's the one in Old Hickory, Tennessee. So that's cool. 2,000 degrees in Ocala, Florida. Who's in Ocala? I want friends in Ocala. So somebody, if you're in Ocala, let me know. We're going to come to Ocala very soon. What do you guys do to stay cool in the heat? You change your schedule, your start time, your end time? Do you take more breaks? Do you sit in the truck? Do you I know some people will stay well away from the air conditioning when it's hot because they say it makes it worse. And some people, they get in the air conditioning every 5 minutes. So let me know what you guys do. Drinking water here. I think that's the main thing that you got to do. You got to drink water. You got to drink more water than you want to drink. Drink so much your belly feels full, in my opinion. So drinking water is good. Bam Bam says cooling rags and electrolyte freezer pops. And that's sissy stuff, isn't it? Is that sissy stuff, or is everybody doing that? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's see here. So I just watched the 10-day forecast. Good idea. Thank you. I'm getting notes here, things I need to mention. So upcoming forecast. I was looking at the Weather Channel, the monthly forecast for the whole United States just a few minutes ago, and it looks like there's going to be more. We've got this big heat wave coming all the way up into the southeast and the northeast. And so next week looks like Tennessee, Texas, all of the same states going to be super hot. Looks like the Pacific Northwest they're cool. They don't have too bad of weather. So if you're up in the Pacific Northwest, you'll probably be all right. But if you're down here with the rest of us, get ready for another hot week next week. But that's, the heat is not the greatest, but it does allow us to make hay while the sun shines. So it's, that's the way it goes. I think you really need to try to earn money, earn your, do what you do when you stain, because you got to have dry weather to do it. So we need to do that quickly, get it done while the sun's shining, and it will allow us to, it allows us to enjoy time off when the weather's not so good. Make hay while the sun shines, like my granddad would say. So everybody else, share your progress with me if you don't mind. Let me know what you guys got done this week. Let me know what you got going next week, and want to hear about it. So some people may be just taking the hot weather off. I don't know. So love to hear about that. What do you do in the heat to stay efficient? I already asked that, but I'm going to ask it again. I want you guys to let me know. What do you do to stay efficient in the heat? It's Mike D from Nomad Fence. Mike, what do you do when it's hot? I know up in Pennsylvania it gets pretty darn hot. So what do you do? What do you guys do? I know Mike works at he works at a really big fence company. What do you guys do there to keep your crews safe, to keep them cool in the summertime? Let me know that. So be interested in that. While you guys are typing in the comments here, I'm going to do something because obviously a lot of you guys need to know this. So I'm going to read off to you a dealer's list. So we've got a stain brand some of you may not know about, but it's called Expert Stain and Seal. Expert that's the product, and it's we make it here in Nashville. It's the easiest to use. It's the easiest to use, easiest to clean up stain on the market, and it's a really smart, safe choice because the VOCs in them is super low, and the oil content is super high, meaning your fence deck, cabin, whatever you put it on, will warp, crack, and twist no more if you use this product. So some of our dealers include All Star Fence and Supply out in Paris, Tennessee. Premier Fence over in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can pick it up there. Panhandle Power Wash and Supply. That's Trudy over in Freeport, Florida. Chattahoochee Stain and Seal down in Columbus, Georgia. We got Hercules Fence and Supply down in Lake Charles, Louisiana. American Fence Staining down up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've got Texas Fence Supply Online based out of Dallas. Lawrence Lumber in Houston, biggest deck builder in Houston, and they own that company, Texas Deck and Shade. And then Lawrence Lumber, great Christian company down in Cleveland, Texas. We got several Martin's Lumber locations in Houston. Universal Forest Products does carry this. So if you've got a store or a hardware store or whatever, lumber store, fence supply shop, and you work with UFP, Universal Forest Products, or if you know Bernie over there, ask him about Expert Stain and Seal. Hudson Fence in Lubbock, Texas. We got Heritage Fence and Kasurik Distributors over in Pennsylvania, Skipack, PA. Mr. Fence, Sean King, the notorious Mr. King over in Evansville, Indiana, keeps Expert Stain and Seal in stock. Ideal Fence over in Kokomo, Indiana. Ozark Fence and Supply, the man in orange, Joe Everest, the fence expert, is in Springfield, Missouri. Their shop, they've got it in stock all the time. Empire Fence, that's Matt Warner, for those of you that know, over in Waverly, Nebraska. We got Eastern Fence Supply in Charlotte, North Carolina. Triangle Pressure Services in Raleigh, North Carolina. T. Kim over in Kernersville, North Carolina. Chesterfield Fence and More. Richmond, Virginia. We got Reuben Borg Fence on the West Coast over in Livermore, California. Fence Factory. We private label for the Fence Factory. So you can go to the Fence Factory. They've got 7 or 8 locations in Southern California. Really big operation there. And all the stain that they sell there is made by us. So it's and it's the same stuff you get from us. So it's just got a different label on it. Up in Toronto, all of Canada, you can get that through Fence Armor, and I know they've got quite a few dealers up there. throughout the Great White North. And then also you got the fence shop in Vancouver, British Columbia, over in that's also in Canada. So support those guys, man. We really appreciate what they do. And if you need stain, we can get it to you. You can get it at those places. You can also get it online at Stain and Seal Expert store. They'll ship it to you. Really prefer you to go get it from a dealer. Speaking of dealers, we don't have as many dealers as some other brands, but what we do have is an unbelievable network. This week, somebody up in Indiana or Illinois called us, and they needed stain. They needed 1 bucket of stain in an emergency. They had 24 hours to finish a project to keep their word to their customer, and they were willing to drive 10 hours to go get it. But we came together, and that Facebook group we were telling you about with 5,000 members in the group, there were, I don't know, maybe 24 people said, hey, I've got it. And they were all closer. So I don't know who they got the stain from, but somebody hooked them up and they got them stained closer. So even if you don't have a dealer near you, there's an emergency, we got 5,000 people throughout the United States that would be happy to hook you up if you have a emergency. So whoever took care of that, I really appreciate it. So Mike D, Nomad Fence says, let's see here. Keep feeding them ice, start early, end early. So if it's hot, that's a good idea. My name's Jack Johnson in Ocala, Florida. Man, holler at us down in Ocala. We would love, if you don't mind, Jack, let us know what you do. Are you a fence company? Are you a stain company? Power washer? What do you do? And what's your primary business down there? So if you build fences, what's your main fence? If you power wash, what's your main thing? Gatorade, lots of breaks, force cool water down. An extra guy doesn't hurt to spread out the workload. Truth Seeker says he just slows down, drinks lots of water, and tries to work in the shadows to limit sun exposure. And this is Defense down in Ocala, Florida. So I heard some interesting information in this. Please consult a doctor before you do this, as I am not a doctor. But I was listening to a Stanford University professor, scientist kind of a guy. And he said that there are 3 places on our body where we can eliminate heat quickly because there is no what's the things in your fingers? There's no, you've got veins, you have arteries, and you have capillaries. So there's no capillaries in between the veins and the arteries in 3 places, which means that you can very, very quickly dump heat from your body. And so that's on your forehead, the skin on the top of your forehead, palms of your hands, and the bottoms of your feet. He also said, I'll come back to that in just a minute. He also said that if you're really cold and you get in really hot water or something really quick, it could have the opposite effect on you, because when your body gets really cold, what does it do? It tries to heat itself up. So if you're really, really hot and you got into a thing of ice water, your body could actually try to heat itself up because it senses being cold, and it can make you even hotter internally, which is crazy to believe. And then the same thing backwards. If you're really, really, really cold and you get into hot environment, your body could actually do the opposite that you wanted to do. So the palms of the hands, the forehead, and the bottom of the feet are a great way to cool yourself off. So you can take your gloves off, take off your socks and shoes, and you could stand on cold water bottles. You could hold cold water bottles, maybe keep a cold cloth on your forehead, and that would be a good way to really cool yourself down. You don't want to hold ice or touch something super cold because it can cause like vasorestriction, like restriction in your veins, and then it wouldn't cool you down as quickly. So something that's moderately cold, hands, bottoms of the feet, forehead, and that would be a good way to cool yourself down in an emergency. So if somebody, one of your guys gets overheated, get his shoes off of him, let him stand on some water bottles, get him in the AC, let him hold some water bottles, wet, cool rag on his forehead would help. So we have been traveling all over the north and the south, meeting with a lot of you guys. So I appreciate the hospitality as we've traveled. We've been all over Ohio, Kentucky, Alabama. We got guys in Alabama and Texas right now. So we appreciate you seeing us. If anybody's in Birmingham, Christian is down there right now as we speak. Zach's over in that South Texas market too. I want to talk about the events we've got coming up. So We've got some events coming up that are staining university events. So we're training you to stain fences, training you to do decks, training you to market your business, training you to do all of the things that you got to do in a business that maybe you know about and maybe you don't. So we bring in a lot of really good people to do that. We've got some really smart business guys that we've teamed up with, and they come in with us and they share all their information with us. So I'm going to talk about some events, but don't leave. Hang out for a minute because I got a couple hats here. I got these new expert hats. We're going to give some of those away, and then I got a big announcement about something we're doing. I think it's going to be really cool. So, TChem event, North Carolina. So in July, we're doing a big event in North Carolina. Everybody's going to be there. I'm guessing there's going to be 5,000 people there. You believe me? Maybe not 5,000, but I'm hoping for 5,000 people. So we're going to have a big event in North Carolina. I'm going to throw up really quick. I'm going to throw up an overlay so you can write this down. If you want to go to this event in North Carolina in July, here it is. It's the free technical training event. It's fence staining, deck staining, fence cleaning, deck cleaning, any kind of wood restoration. We got all kind of power wash equipment there that we're going to learn to use. There's going to be roof cleaning, concrete cleaning, you name it. Joe Everest, Matt Warner, the whole Stain and Sew Experts team is going to be there. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are big in the power wash industry also going to be there. So that's Greensboro, North Carolina, July 20th and 21st. It's presented by TChem. It's at their place. You can register at nationalcleaningexpo.com. If you got questions about that event, you can call us. And again, it's the TChem event in Greensboro, July 20th and 21st. So maybe if somebody's watching that has a link to that, they can drop it in the comments. That would be great. Let's get rid of that overlay. All right. Okay. All right. Also, probably most likely going to be another Washmart event in the Dallas market in September or October. So we're definitely going to be there. So stand by for that. We're going to do the biggest staining training ever to be done in Dallas, Texas. So look out for that. That's going to be an awesome one. Awesome event. So more details coming soon. Also, Staining University, February 2023. We do it every year. It's the biggest staining event in the country, and we want you to come. It's a free event, just like all the other events we've been talking about. They're free. So I want you guys to come and check us out. That's where we meet. You get to see, we've had people there from Hawaii. So people from all over the U.S. come, people from Canada come, and I really want you to come out and let's put all of our knowledge together. It's kind of like the Knights of the Round Table. Everybody's equal, and we all just throw in knowledge and see what we can learn, and we all grow because of it. So February 2022, that's going to be, or 2023, Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to give away something. I want to give away a hat real quick. Who is the first guy on here? Fence to Fence. Yep. First guy to make a comment was Fence to Fence. Jeremy, thank you. Appreciate it. I got you. Where is it? Let me know how many guys you got. How many guys you got? We'll hook you up with some of these nice mesh back hats. You got to have a good hat when you're out working. So you got to have a good hat when you're out working. So appreciate you coming on, Jeremy. But I'm going to read Jeremy's comments. He said, hold job safety analysis meetings. We're talking about the heat again. Can be held at the office or on job site by foreman. Go over signs of heat exhaustion, preventative measures, and watch out for one another and pay attention to signs. You can also go over job site plans. Canopy for large jobs. We're looking into a cooling fan for job site. Foreman's job is to practice and enforce waters and electrolytes. 1 liquid IV or Gatorade G2 per 3 bottles of water is proper proportions. That is good. And a liquid IV, I guess, is a drink. You don't have guys giving IVs on job sites, do you? So let me know. That's interesting. Stain track machine. I know some of you guys have heard about a stain track machine, and Joe Everest, my good friend Joe Everest, has donated his because he upgraded and got a bigger machine. And so he has a very slightly used stain track machine with all new rollers, all new pump, everything, all new filters is new. So very, very nice machine. These are like $8,000 machines. They're pre-stain machines. We're going to raffle one of these off. That's right. We're going to raffle off a pre-stain machine. So this, again, $8,000, but you can make $1 million with the machine. So we're going to raffle it off, and the money is going to go to basically to put on Standing University classes to teach more people how to do the business. And we're going to also make a few scholarships for Standing University. So if you know someone who can't afford to come, even though the event's free, there is travel expenses. If you can't afford to come, we're gonna hook some guys. We're gonna hook up some people, and it's gonna be people's choice. So, so you guys got to pick who we're gonna bring in. So stand by for that. I'm not quite sure when I'm gonna start the raffle. Because Standing University is next year, but we got about 6, 7, 8 months, I guess, to do this. So be on the lookout for that stain track machine, because that's going to be awesome. I kind of wanted to keep it for myself, but it is what it is. So somebody here says they got sunburned on their bald head and could definitely use a hat. Who is it? Who got sunburned? I'd like to see a picture of that. What are you going out in the sun without a hat for, man? Let's see if we could get him. We might be able to hook somebody up, but I don't know who you are. So, anyways, what else you guys got going on? I want to hear some wins from some of you guys that are on here. Truth Seeker, tell me about it. What's going on in your world? What are you guys noticing? I'm hearing some contractors are saying that the high-end jobs are still selling, and maybe some of the lower-end residential stuff is not. It's not as maybe not as prevalent, not going as much. Maybe some of those people are experiencing the woes from high gas prices, high grocery prices, and inflation, things like that. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I know our schedule is full. It's full, so it could always be fuller. I guess we could book out further in advance, but right now it seems to be steady. I know every year when school starts, things slow down. When school gets out, things slow down. When you get vacation season, July is usually vacation season for a lot of folks. So anticipate to see maybe a little dip. Your phones may not ring quite as much in July, so you got to work twice as hard to get to get the same amount of business. So I recommend you do that. I also want to make a couple other recommendations about following up. So in our office, we like to follow up on the jobs that we quote. For years, and so many contractors are guilty of this, and we are too. Your phone rings so much that you quote every day, and if you sell it right then on the spot, that's great. But if you don't, the phone's going to ring tomorrow too, and you're going to sell some of those on the spot. And so what happens is kind of a bad customer experience happens because there's no follow-up sequence. There's no calling folks back. There's no reaching out to see if they had any questions. So it is what it is. And so what really works well for us is when we quote a job, I like to see it printed out, even though it's all on the computer. I like to print it because I like to physically see it laying there. If it's laying there and not closed, then I know I need to call them back. But you can take your stack, the stack of quotes you've done this year or didn't get last year also. And first, I like to do something to indicate the really good ones. So, we get some jobs that, they're not so, maybe not so fun, maybe not so much what you want. And then there's other jobs where you go, wow, if I could just get that job over and over and over every single day, that's exactly the type of job I'd want. Highlight those, put them in a separate pile, do something to indicate to yourself that this is the kind of job that I want. And then when you've got all of these jobs sitting there, call them up, call them on Friday, call them on Thursday, take some time and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, this is Caleb with Stain and So Experts. Did I catch you at a bad time? No. Okay, great. The reason I was calling was because we quoted a staining project for you last week, and I just wanted to see if you got any questions. You could also say, I just wanted to see why you haven't scheduled that with us yet. You can ask lots of different questions. Some of them may sound bold to you, but if you ask them a straight and direct question, they'll usually give you a straight and direct answer. And they might say it's too expensive. They might say, we went with someone else. Those, that's objections that you may get. But they might also say, you know what? I'm glad you called. I lost your phone number. We want to do it. We want to schedule it right now. Can I give you a card over the phone to get this job going? They might also say, you know what? I forgot all about it, but I want to do it. I'm going to sign it and send it over to you. Or they might say, give you some really good feedback and say, we went with another vendor because X, Y, and Z. And that gives you information to grow on. So follow up. I call it Follow Up Friday. I've done it for years, and I think you should do it. I think Mandy, out of jobs that she didn't close last week, she closed 30% of the follow up. So we run around. Some people will say this is a low rate, but I don't care. We run around a 30% close rate on our service side, and then when we do a follow up, we close 30% up front, and then we're still hitting about 30% when we do the follow-up. So half of my business I leave laying there if I don't do follow-ups. So you better believe follow-ups is worth your time. So Truth Seeker down in Lewisburg got a $6,000 deck staining job, my largest residential stain job in 10 years. How many buckets of stain are you going to use on that job is what I want to know. $6,000 job. Congratulations. That's fantastic. Now you got to deliver on this job. I guess you already know that, but you're doing a $6,000 stain job. You've got to treat these folks right, treat them like millionaires, and give them a world-class experience, and they will tell all their friends about you. So post us up some pictures in the Facebook group too when you get that done. I'm excited to see that. Also, let me know how that big fence armor job, is that one you think you might get? Let us know. Truth Seeker says, know your worth. I want to give away another hat, but I don't know who the bald guy is, man. Who's bald and burned his head? If he's still listening, we'll give him a hat. We'll give him just a few minutes. But that's about it, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to share some upcoming events. And if you think that this is a good thing to do on Saturday morning, because this is kind of just decided to do it. If you think this is a good thing to do on Saturday morning, if you enjoyed this or got value, let me know. And so let me know, because we want to keep doing these if it brings value to you. And if not, that's the way it is. So let's see here. Only 4 buckets of SSE, if that gives you an idea of square footage. You're going to have to give me a better hint than that about the hat. You were down here a few weeks ago. Everybody's been down here the last few weeks. So I got some ideas, but you never know. So that's it. Stay busy, guys. Do follow-ups. Stay cool. Drink lots of water. If you need stain, use only the best stain. Get expert stain and seal. Oh yeah, I wanted to share something with you guys. So for you guys who stayed on till the end, I've got something I want to share with you. I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I'm going to do it anyways. We got a new website coming to help you guys sell products better. So I know when you go to a website, or when you send your customers to a website for your stain or for whatever type of products you're using, you want something that really represents well and makes your job of selling the job easier. You want that website to bring trust and to make your customer feel at ease about doing business with you. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to give you about a 10-second blip of what's coming. Let's see here. I'm going to share the screen. Share that window. All right. So you can see what I see now. But here we go. Expect to see a website like this. So this is header, menu bar. Ignore all of that. It's just there for us to look at. You're going to have stains up here. Cleaning products. Obviously, there'll be a cleaning product picture there. There's Joe Everest. We're going to show some of our dealers. Want to learn more, and that's pretty much it. And then each page will have, each product will have its own page, and then you can get all the information you want from there. So that will be coming soon. We're launching that July 1st. long overdue. So appreciate you guys having patience with us. But that's going to be expertwoodcare.com when we launch that. And you can send all of your homeowners there and should really do a good job of helping you to sell the jobs. If you're an expert contractor, there will be a section there listing all of you geographically. So if someone finds our stain, wants to use it, and they go to the website and you're in their area, they can hire you. Also, retailer, dealer, distributor maps will be right there, which could be really helpful at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon to find a dealer close by. So who is our closest dealer to Ocala, Florida? That's probably Panhandle Power Wash, but we are shooting for Penrod Fence. If you know Penrod Fence and you buy from them, we feel like that might be a good dealer for us. If you know them, man, help us out. Help us get in there. Ask them every day for expert stain and seal. Every single day. If you make that happen for me, I'll send you a whole box of hats. Do we have any dealers in Nashville? Yes, we do. You can get it from Stain and Seal Experts. You can get it from Premier. I'm pulling up my sheet here. You can get it from Premier Fence. We're working on the Power Wash store. The Power Wash store is all in, but the guys up north say no because apparently it's like a franchise. If you think you would buy this at the Power Wash store, call those guys up and tell them to get this stain on the shelf quick as you can. Power Wash store just makes sense. Just makes sense. They're right here in Nashville. But yeah, you can get it from Premier Fence in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can get it from Stain and Seal Experts just outside of Nashville. And we're working on hopefully a big line of paint stores here in Nashville. Some locally owned paint stores that there's 7 or 8 locations. And these are Ben Moore stores. So if you buy anything from Hoover Paints, any of those Benjamin Moore stores in Nashville, please ask them over and over and over. Please carry this product. It would mean the world to me. It would help us out, and it would get stain at your fingertips. So that's pretty much it. Stand by for the Stain Track raffle because we're going to give that thing to a lucky winner. I don't know how much the tickets are going to cost, but it's going to be for a good cause. And Absolute Chemical. You should talk to Mike at Absolute Chemical. He used to carry our stain, and he stopped carrying it for whatever reason. He said he didn't have enough room in his store. If you'll go over there and put a bug in his ear that you would buy it, I bet he would pick it up and carry it again. So that's it. Happy Saturday, Historic Distributors. You can get it there. Skip Back PA. We mentioned you guys earlier, so I don't know if this is Chris or if this is Dave watching, but those are some good guys up there. If you need stain up there, they got it for you. So go to stainandsealexperts.com. If you are a Nashville homeowner and you need your fence or deck stained, we will hook you up and do a fantastic job, give you a world-class experience. If you want to get on board with this type of business, Staining University, you can go to facebook.com/groups/Staining University, and you can join in with 5,200 other staining contractors, and you can learn this business for free. And it's a good business. I will prove it to you because Truth Seeker said he's doing a $6,000 deck staining job, and he said he's going to use 4 buckets of stain. So pretty good margin there. There'll be lots of work involved in that, but still pretty good margin. That's it. You guys in Ocala, help us out with Penrod. You guys in Nashville, help us out with Absolute and the Power Wash store and any paint stores, man. If you know one that needs us, ask them for us. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next time.